What if I told you that your birthday is, well, it's just a date? That your body actually has a built-in ability to hit the rewind button, to turn back the clock from old to young? It sounds like science fiction, right? But today, we're diving into a lost science from ancient India called Kayakalpa, which says it's not fiction at all. Let's get into it. So, this is really the big question we have to start with. We all just sort of accept that aging is this fixed law of the universe, that it's inevitable. But what if it's not? What if aging is more like a bug in our biological software, a bug that maybe we can fix? And that, right there, is where Kayakalpa comes in. The name tells you everything you need to know. Kaya means body, and kalpa means transformation. So we're not just talking about slowing down the process. No, this is a whole system designed to completely rejuvenate and transform the body, to literally reverse time on the cellular level. No, here's what's so fascinating. This ancient wisdom and our cutting-edge modern science, they're often describing the exact same things. It's just that they're using two totally different languages. One talks about spirit and vital energy. The other talks about chromosomes and biochemistry. Let's see how they line up. So, in ancient Vedic texts, they talked about aging as Ojas, the slow decay of our life force, our vital essence. Now, fast forward a couple thousand years, and what does modern genetics say? It calls it telomere shortening. You can think of telomeres like those little plastic tips on your shoelaces. Every time a cell divides, they get a little shorter. Eventually, they get so short that your genetic shoelace starts to fray. The point is, both ancient wisdom and modern science agree. Aging is caused by a gradual physical decay. And check this out, this is a perfect example. For thousands of years, people have practiced Autophagy, which is basically ritual fasting, for health and purification. Then, in 2016, a scientist wins the Nobel Prize for discovering something called autophagy. That's the process where your healthy cells literally eat up the old, junky, worn-out cells. It's your body's internal cleanup crew. And what triggers it? You guessed it, fasting. Two different worlds, one incredible biological truth. But Kayakalpa isn't just about what you do with your body. It says that maybe the most powerful tool for rejuvenation is actually your mind. Your beliefs, how you think, how you see yourself, that's a huge piece of the puzzle. You know, modern psychology actually has a term for this. It's called subjective age. It's not how many birthdays you've had, it's how old you feel. And study after study shows a real connection here. People who feel younger than their actual age are, on average, healthier, more resilient, and they even live longer. Your mindset isn't just a feeling. It sends biochemical signals to your entire body. And this is not some new age idea. The ancient Vedic texts nailed this thousands of years ago with this one principle. As you believe, so you become. The very first step was to change your belief system, to stop seeing your body as a decaying machine and start seeing it as a dynamic field of energy that responds to your thoughts. That belief is what turns the key in the ignition. And if you're looking for proof, look no further than the famous counterclockwise study. A psychologist named Ellen Langer took a group of elderly men and put them in a retreat that was decorated to look exactly like it was 20 years earlier. For a whole week, they were told to live and act as if they were their younger selves. And the results? They were absolutely staggering. They had measurable improvements in their hearing, less joint pain, more flexibility. They even looked younger in before and after photos. Their minds literally started to reverse their biological age. Okay, so we've got the big ideas down. Mind over matter, ancient wisdom meets modern science. But how do we actually do this? Let's open up the toolkit and look at some of the practical techniques you can use. First up, the most fundamental tool you have, your breath. Just look at this comparison. It's pretty wild, right? A dog, breathing super fast, lives for maybe 10 or 12 years. A turtle, on the other hand, breathing incredibly slowly, can live for over 300 years. Ancient yogis saw this and realized something profound. Maybe our lifespan isn't counted in years, but in breaths. When you breathe slowly and deeply, you activate what's called the parasympathetic nervous system. That's your body's rest and repair mode, and it's where all the real healing and rejuvenation happens. All right, next up, diet. The first pillar is a fruit called amla. It was so highly regarded, they called it via stoppin, which literally means age stopper. And yeah, modern science backs this up. It's one of the most powerful antioxidants on Earth. Then you've got this special mix of ghee and honey. But listen up, this part is absolutely critical. The rule is that they have to be in unequal amounts. Taking them in equal measures is considered toxic in this system. And finally, intermittent fasting, giving your digestive system a solid 16-hour break each day to kickstart that cellular cleanup we talked about. It's also about your daily lifestyle. Waking up at Brahma Muhurta, that's around 4 a.m., to see the sunrise is said to literally charge your pineal gland. And then there's the chemistry of your emotions. When you genuinely practice gratitude, your brain releases dopamine and oxytocin. Think of it as a youth serum. On the flip side, complaining and being negative floods your body with cortisol, the stress hormone, which is basically an aging accelerator.
So we've talked about the practical stuff, diet, breathing, lifestyle. But Kayakalpa goes way, way deeper. Now we're getting into the more esoteric techniques that are designed to reprogram your biology right from the source code.
So to understand this next part, we need to quickly talk about cymatics. It's a field of science that shows how sound actually affects physical matter. You can take a metal plate, sprinkle some sand on it, and then play a specific sound frequency. What happens? The sand doesn't just vibrate randomly. It arranges itself into these incredible, complex, geometric patterns. Sound literally creates order out of chaos.
And that is the key to understanding ancient mantras. They weren't just seen as words or prayers. They were seen as vibrational codes. The idea is that when you chant a sound like Om, the vibration travels through your body, stimulates this massive nerve called the vagus nerve, and basically tunes every cell in your body. It's like you're aligning your personal frequency with the frequency of the universe itself. All right, now for a really advanced one. This is called the treasury mudra. It's a physical lock or position where the tongue is curled back to touch a specific spot on the roof of the mouth. It sounds pretty out there, I know, but this technique is designed to be a biohack that directly stimulates your body's master glands, the pituitary and the pineal gland.
So why would you do that? Well, performing this mudra is said to trigger the release of something the ancient text calls Somras, which translates to the nectar of immortality. Now, what could that be? Modern science speculates it could be a powerful cocktail of neurochemicals, things like serotonin, melatonin, and penicillin, getting released directly into the brain and body, which could put you in a state of suspended animation where profound healing can happen. So after all of this, the diet, the mindset, the esoteric practices, what is the real end game? Is it really about living forever as a 25-year-old? Well, the philosophy behind Kayakalpa suggests there's a much bigger, much deeper purpose at play. And this right here, this is the big reveal. The physical rejuvenation isn't the goal. It's the vehicle. The true purpose is to build a body that's strong enough, clean enough, and stable enough to hold and sustain higher states of consciousness and spiritual enlightenment. A weak or sick body just can't handle that kind of energy. Which really redefines the whole idea of immortality, doesn't it? It's not about an infinite number of years. The real immortality is a state of mind. It's being completely free from the stress and the fear of time and death. Once you remove that deep-seated fear, your body just naturally starts to heal itself. That freedom is the real fountain of youth. So that leaves us with something to really think about. What if this entire incredible journey isn't actually about creating a body that lasts forever in the future, but about creating a mind that can live fully, completely in the eternal now? And if you think reversing your own age is a wild idea, well, Kayakalpa apparently has one final forbidden stage. It's called Parakaya Pravesh, the science of actually transferring your consciousness out of an old body and into a new one. But that is a much darker and far more mysterious topic for another time.